Welcome to Soul, Light, and Body. How are you guys doing?
Excellent.
Tonight we're going to unleash that power within us.
Mhm.
And the power that we have within us is leading us to transformation. Transformation isn't just about change, it's about stepping into your fullest expression of who you are. In this episode, we're going to explore the profound journey of personal growth, self reinvention, and the mindset shift that make true transformation possible. Because many times we doubt that power within. So just sit back and join us as we uncover some key elements of lasting change, how to move past fear, because that's a big one, and embrace resilience and align with a life that reflects your deepest intentions. Whether you're navigating a major transition or seeking new perspectives or ready to redefine your path, this episode will equip you with the insights and the practical tools that you need and the strategies to fuel your evolution. So just sit back, grab a notepad, grab a pen, and just know that your transformational journey gonna start now. We have Irene in the house this evening, and she's going to give us some real good nuggets that we can use to help ourselves when we're going through this period of our lives. Because we all go through transition, we all face transition, but how are we going through it? How are we equipping ourselves? What are the tools that we're using to go through this transition? So, this evening, you are at the right place at the right time. Share us out. If you know somebody who are going through a transformational period, just share us out to that individual so they can benefit from these steps and strategies that we're going to be giving out this evening. So we want to welcome Irene back to the studio. She's our returning guest, and every time Irene come into the studio, she gives us some real good enrichment tools.
Mhm.
So just sit back, just relax, and enjoy this 1 hour with us. Don't forget to subscribe to Soul Light and Body because you will never miss none of these episodes. And don't forget, we got 2 books on Amazon. Your Gut to You and Self Care is Intentional. So go grab yourself some copies because this is going to help you as an individual with your transitioning and understanding your gut. How important is your gut? You're going to understand how diseases happen in the body. So go grab yourself some copies. And also, self care is intentional. How to take care of yourself. It's not just going to the spa alone. There's so many other components that make up self care. So I am Karen Pascal, Holistic Health and Wellness Coach, and a co-author of the 2 books I just told you. And we also have a digital magazine and a hard copy magazine. And if you have not subscribed, it's time you do it. Go to the comments and you're going to find the link and you're going to subscribe. And you will have this beautiful magazine with so much of informative information. And also, whichever part of the world you're living, you will have the digital copy. We're thinking about you guys all the time. So just sit back, just relax, and enjoy this 1 hour with us. I'm going to toss the mic now to John. Irene, welcome once again to Soul Light and Body.
Thank you so much, Karen. Nice to join you.
Wow. Great opening as always.
Thank you.
Where are you at this junction, at this point in this moment, this month? Things are moving so fast. Where are you? What are you choosing that is not choosing you? What are you choosing that are not choosing you? Because we gotta focus on our energy. We gotta keep our energy and only direct it to what is choosing you, so that you can live a life of fulfillment. And tonight is a great topic to be talking about, which is going to be talking about unleashing your power within. How do you unlock that? What kind of keys are you using to unlock that power from within? Sit with that for a minute. Because to get that, you got to go within. So you're living from the inside out. That's how we can create that level of transformation. We want to congratulate you, all of you who making those bold moves, making up those bold steps. You're taking the first step. You're not looking at the staircase. You're taking that first step. You're pushing past failures. You're pushing past no's, and you're tapping into something special within. You're going within because you're leaning into your inner wisdom, your inner self. You're making that self connection, that self discovery, knowing who you are, your self awareness, and you're tapping in, which is helping, which is enabling you to live the best version of yourself because you're pouring love on yourself, self love. That's why we wrote this book called Self Care, because you make getting this book is super important because you it will enable you to keep your cup filled because you're focusing on mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all the aspects of your life. Because as we speak on this show and the other platform we talk on, nourish and nurture yourself. Super important. Nourish, put the best food, best quality foods in your body so you can gain all the level of great nutrition to support your body. But that it doesn't stop there. Nourishing yourself and nurturing yourself because the nurture aspect is equally important as well. Your spirituality. How are you moving in your environment? Are you decluttering? We're still in spring. This is a nice time to make that clearance so you can navigate easily. Organizational structure. Every room must represent what it is and have those good stuff that you cherish and that you love and that have sentimental values to you are not buried under things. Make sure that you move. Movement is so important. Your physical activity so that you can stay strong and live the best life that you so deserve. Are you focusing on your wins, big or small? Are you pausing for that moment when the win comes in? It can be a small win, but you work hard to get there, to attain that. Celebrate, because it is an incentive for you to continue forward. You're showing yourself gratitude. Gratitude is super important for yourself and for the people that surround you. For those who believe in you when you did not even believe in yourself, who encourage you to move forward when there were low moments in your life and they said, no, you can do this. Get back in the game. Be a participant of life. Dance with life. The encouragement, the support, the upliftment. Those people matter. Because sometimes you just need a word of encouragement to say, you got what it takes. You can do it. You are enough. You're worthy. You're special. So when you have those kind of people in your life who support you, got to show the level of gratitude. Because that is what helped you to stay strong and that you can live your best and be your best. That you can step in your power, step in your greatness. Because the thing is that how you show up in the world is super important. How do you make people feel when you leave a conversation? What kind of energy is exchanged in that moment? What kind of energy? That when you step away, you say, you know, that was a good conversation. I really feel fulfilled. I feel inspired after that conversation, whether it's in a group, whether it's a talk, whatever it may be. The energy and the power and the vibration that is exchanged in that moment, that is so super, that you feel so great, that you feel it. You know what? I have what it takes. I can do this. Because when you leave that moment, it can help you to better your tomorrow. And that is why we have such a great topic tonight, because we have an amazing guest who is going to inspire us and help us to look at our lives through different lens, bring a level of clarity so that we can thrive and we can live our best with the experience of having a transformed life. And every time we see Irene, she is transformed.
Thank you.
Every time, because we meet on we have been meeting on several occasions and showing up here and even outside of this discussion via virtually. But she's transformed, so she's living the true transformational coach. Irene, we are so proud of you for what you're doing. You're changing life. You're focusing on women. You're bringing a level of clarity and all the amazing things that you're doing. So we are so blessed in this moment to have you to share space with us and going to inspire us, uplift us, enlighten us, and all those things that come along in the category of those words.
Thank you so
I
much.
am a certified holistic health and wellness coach, Joan Williams, and the books and the magazines and every single thing that we do. And we just want to say thank all of you who support us and encourage us to continue to do what we do. Because everything we do is with you in mind. So thank you again for everything, and thank you for subscribing. Thank you for purchasing our books. Thank you for signing up for the magazines. And thank you for everything. And thank you for all the notes that you send, the emails that you send, booking discovery calls, everything. We just want to say thank you. And we love you. Irene, welcome.
Thank you so much, Joanne. I appreciate you
Right
hosting me
here.
on this show. Yeah, thank you so much, Karen, for all the good work that you're doing out there. I can see it. And yeah, every time I look at what you're doing, I'm really inspired. And I feel, what would be the right word? Like, I feel that warmth knowing that I have sisters around me who are in the same movement of transformation, much as your focus would be so much on health and the other things. But I realize that, yeah, I have a tribe, if I may call it that. So every time I see the work that you're doing, I'm inspired to do even more and do better, because I'm like, yay, if I put in enough energy and they put
Right,
in enough
right,
energy,
right.
then yeah, we got it, right? Because I might never do what you do, but when you do what you do best, and I do what I do best, then all together we have a collective, kind of force that is impacting lives out there. So I cheer you on every single time and keep up the good work. And yeah,
We send it right down right back to you too as well. It's
thank you.
reciprocated.
Hmm. Thank you so much. Yeah, so shall we get started then?
Yes, let's unleash. Let's unleash the
Yes,
power within.
the power
Talk to us
within.
what that is.
Yes,
What does that
ladies.
mean when you
When
say
we talk about
unleash?
unleashing, before it never used to make a lot of sense coming from where I come from, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow up with any pets. So even the word leash probably didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
But now where I am, I always see people walking around with their dogs and yeah, on their leashes, and I'm like, okay, so there's time when they are free to walk around, and there's time when they have to be on the leash, depending on where they are, right? So today, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
We are letting that free, keeping our dreams on a leash. I think is not helping. It might help to a certain extent, but if you realize, if you can visualize with me a dog on a leash, the leash is usually long, but sometimes you realize that it's rolled up. so the dog can walk so close to the owner. You understand? And
Real good.
sometimes it can be rolled out so that it can walk at a distance. Have you observed that? So meaning to say, if you have your dream and you can only let it out a little bit, it will serve you, but from a small circle like that. Its power, you're limiting its power. You're limiting the service that you'll be giving out because you're keeping that distance. You're keeping it in that circle. But the moment you unwind, then you're covering a wider diameter, if I may say. So that means that you can touch or you can reach further opportunities. How about if you did not have a leash and you just let your dream go as far as it can go? How far would it go? It would go anywhere and everywhere. This is what I would like us to do today. Every one of us, I believe, has something within them. They might not have recognized what that is, but as we go through this talk, I believe by the end of it all, someone will be like, wait a minute. And they'll have to reflect on that one thing. That if they give it a thought and give it the support, it will blow up into something they have never imagined. So today, talking about transformation and looking at this title, to unleash the power within, that means you already have it.
Right.
You might just not be aware. And probably you are, but you're keeping this leash too tight. You're scared of letting your dream wander around. I don't know what you're scared of. Probably people have told you, because imagine if, again, I want us to go back to this dog on a leash and the owner. If there is something that they are scared of, they'll be like, you better be close to me. So they'll unwind but a little bit so that this dog walks close by them. But for example, if they're walking in a park where they think, it is free, there's no cars coming, there's not, this dog can wander around. They can even unleash it if they want to. So that means as humans, we have these huge, big dreams that cannot be contained inside of us. We just have to let them out. But because we have all these limitations, limiting beliefs and everything else, and the environment in which we live and what we tell ourselves, the stories we've believed, we keep our dreams within. And because we keep them within, they are suffocating us to the extent that we can't even grow. We get stunted. It is a good thing to have, but because you're not letting it out, it is suffocating you to the extent that you can't even grow. Why not let it out? Anyway, when we talk about transformation, we are talking about change, and we are talking about a more lasting change. Change that is going to produce more and more fruits. Change that is going to stay forever. Change that is going to impact me, you, and everyone around us. Change that has a ripple effect, that it creates impact where you are not. So when we talk about transformation here, I would like us to zone in to, again, think deep in ourselves, because transformation, by the way, it starts from within. We need to understand what transformation is and what it is for, but where does it even start? Actually, when you look at the definition of transformation, in my terms, I would say it's a profound and lasting change in a person's mindset, behavior, habits, or identity. And this leads to greater awareness, growth, and fulfillment. That would be true transformation for me. And when we are talking about transformation, it does not start from what you do, actually. It begins with who you decide to become. I might have to say that one more time.
You have to.
Transformation does not begin or does not start with what you do. It starts with who you want to become. what I'm doing right now is great. But if I want to be more than what I am today, I might have to switch things around. That means I have to visualize who I want to be and then put the puzzles together, the pieces together to complete the puzzle. In other words, from where I am today to where I want to go, there's that gap. There's that space that I need to fill. What am I filling it with? Those are the things I'm going to do that are going to lead me to the transformation that I desire, because transformation is an end product. But that end product begins with the raw materials that we have to put together here. So the moment I decide that this is who I'm going to become, now I know what I'm supposed to do to become who I want to become. So if I stay doing whatever I'm doing today, it's unlikely that transformation will happen, because what will have changed anyway? What change am I looking for? And today, I would like to use my food science background as an example. Bear with me, but I'm pretty sure it will be easier for us to understand that way, because when we put it in perspective, then we can shift and put it in our own lives.
Right.
So as a food scientist, my role, the job that I did, was to transform food raw materials into finished, shelf-stable, and valuable products. Finished, shelf-stable, and valuable products. My keywords here that I want us to focus on is shelf-stable and valuable. Ladies and gentlemen, transformation, of course, takes a lot of effort, takes some inner deep work. But like we said, it starts at the point when we decide who we want to become.
Right.
So I'll give you a quick example. If I had mangoes and I want to process juice, which is ready to drink, other than doing this at home, now I'm looking at serving the market out there. So what I'll do, I'll look for the raw materials, which will be the mangoes, and they must be good mangoes. I can't bring any kind of mangoes, because if
True.
I begin with the bad raw material, guess what? My product is going to be a bad product.
Of course.
Remember, we said we are looking at what we want to become.
Right.
And so we set up the steps, the tactics, and the strategies for us to get what we want. If you want a good product, be sure to start with a good raw material. It is possible for a good raw material to end up with a bad product, but bad in a certain aspect. However, it is guaranteed that if you start with a bad raw material, your end product is going to be a bad product. It is guaranteed. So, starting with your mangoes, well sorted, good quality, healthy, clean, and all that, you're going to take them through a process. For example, they will be peeled, they will be pulped, they will be pasteurized, probably a bit of sugar will be added, preservatives will be added, pasteurized with heat and all that to stabilize, to make sure that the enzymes and everything else is under control so that they are shelf stable. And then they are packaged. And when they are packaged, when the product is packaged, so now you had mangoes and now you have juice. When you have this product packaged, you're putting a label to it. What does this label say? It talks about what product it is. It talks about the raw materials you have used. This label also talks about who the processor is and probably their contact information and all that. And at the end, you take it to a store, wherever it is going to be sold, and someone just walks around and says, I want to take this juice. It looks great. oh, this is mango juice, and they have a chance to read and see, oh, this is mango juice, these are the ingredients, this is the manufacturer. So when you're looking at this in the food science kind of aspect, now I want that to be reflected back to us. What is the raw material we are talking about? You and your thoughts. Actually, I am, or you are, the raw material. All these other ingredients, for example, we have the mangoes, that is the major ingredient, and now we have the sugar, we have preservatives, and everything else that will help this product to be shelf stable. Those are your habits. Think about your beliefs. Think about all those other things. How are you looking at life? How do you see yourself? And how do you see the world? Your perspective, what you know and what you don't know, could be an ingredient in this product. The mistakes we make still are part of this product. Remember, we said if we choose the bad product, the raw material is going to end, rather the product is going to end up as a bad product. For example, if you selected rotten mangoes and you made juice out of it, would you love to drink that juice? Or if you made it for anyone else, would they like it? Because the taste will be different. And people know the bad and the good. So, proceeding to the raw materials, now you want to choose your thoughts wisely. You want to choose your environment wisely. The process itself, and this is a tough, rough process sometimes, even if you're not figuring out, you're not visualizing the industrial processing of this juice. But even home, when you chop up your mangoes or your pineapples, you're throwing them in a blender, and what does it do? Oh, what does it do? It is very rough. But what are you aiming at? A nice drink, a smoothie, a cold drink. But how about the process? If you think about it, that is scary. So most of us shy away or run away from the process, but then we want the finished product. How do you get a product without processing it? So transformation can be rough, can be tough, can be challenging, but we've got to endure it for us to emerge powerful, just the way we want. So looking at these products and the processing and all that, the heat, did I mention that? Because when this juice is pulped, it is maybe sieved, it is mixed up, it is heated to stabilize the enzymes. What does that do? It's kind of killing the life of this product, in a sense that if you leave the enzymes active, they're going to continue working in this product and it is going to spoil. It is going to ferment and all those things. And this product might have microorganisms, for example, that naturally appear on the fruit. They can be washed off, they can remain a little bit, but they can be under control. Some of them are healthy, some of them are not. But even the healthy ones, just like yeast, they could be a problem because this is intended to be a juice. It's not intended to be an alcohol or a wine. Guess what? The process is determining the product that you want to make. Because you know exactly what you want to make, you have to break down all these processes and make sure that you're following these unit operations for you to end up with the product you intended. If you do not pasteurize this juice, it is going to ferment. And when sugars ferment, they break down to alcohol. So you're producing an alcoholic beverage. Was that the intention? So when we are talking about transformation here, you've got to be sure of the product that you want at the end of it. If you intend to make wine, follow the process for wine. It begins with the same fruit. For example, it could be a pineapple that you want to make a fruit, wine from the pineapple. But because the end product is different, when you're processing wine, the process, the ingredients are going to be different. When you're processing juice, the process, the ingredients are going to be different. So if you cannot define your vision, if you can't define your dream now, what are you going to get at the end of it all? So that's why I said Transformation does not begin with what you do right now. It begins with what you have decided to become. Please write that down. I need you to be reminded of that always. And also, when we are looking at this sentence by there, we have the word decision and becoming. You must take the decision. No one is going to force you to change if you don't want to change. The decision is yours. That's why I love the title of the book that I'm reading. I might not read all the content, but the title alone is enough. It says, if it's got to be, it's up to me. And it's written by Robert Schuller. If it's got to be, it's up to me. You have the most important role in your life to make decisions. And the decisions you're making should be aligning with who you want to become. Because you can't take west when you intended to go north. You're not going to get there. You're going to waste a lot of time. You're going to waste a lot of resources, time being one of them. And unfortunately, time is a non-renewable resource. That's why sometimes I ask myself, how much time am I left with? Because I know it's non-renewable. If I have 24 hours and I'm at 20, I only have 4 remaining. I can't make up another so many hours. So that's why we have to be very cautious about it. So walking through this line, when you reach at the end product and you put your product on the shelf, you're seeing the name of the product. That's who you have become. I'm a mango juice. I were a mango before, but now I'm a mango juice. I were a mango before in one place on this tree, in this particular area. That is where I was. But after being processed, I can go to all the other places. Now I have the freedom to reach, to touch as many lives as I can. Because I'm transformed. I'm more valuable now. I'm more shelf stable. Transporting a mango, can you transport it? Can it stay on shelf for 5 days or 6? Okay, 5 days, maybe 10 days, 15 days, just there. Before you know it, it will start degrading. That is a natural process. But if you make a juice, you package it, it can stay for at least 6 months minimum if it's well done. Look at the life that you're giving to this mango. And now, because it is shelf stable, it can be transported and it can go all over the place without limitation, because they're not afraid that it's going to get damaged on the way. They're not afraid that it is going to spoil quickly, so it can go everywhere, so people can access it. So when you transform your life, especially through service, guess what? The world benefits a lot. So when you're not transforming, you're not only hurting you, but you're hurting everybody in this world, because you're limiting yourself to here. You're kind of suppressing your life. You're suppressing your light that people out there can't access it. But remember, I said, everyone in this world was created with a purpose. I can't do what you're doing or what you're capable of doing. So if you don't do you, who is going to do it? We are at a disadvantage already. We are. So that's why when I'm doing transformation, I always want to ask the 3 most important questions. These questions are very important to me. And I would like every one of us to have a pen and a paper, if you do, or any means you use to take your notes, and write these things down for me. If you can, just create columns, and there will be 3 columns only. And in the first column, I would like you to write, how do I want to experience life? How do I want to experience life? If possible, Joanne or Karen, you may type that in the chat if possible. so people can copy that down. And in the second column, I would like you to write, how do I want to grow? How do I want to grow? And in the third, I would like you to write, how do I want to be of service?
That's a great one. I mean, they all are great, but this really stands out.
How do I want to be of service to this world? And when I say world, I mean you, your family, your community, and everyone else created to be on this world, in this world. Because the reason that's why I say world, it does not matter where you are. Your service can be extended to whoever and wherever. I live in Canada right now. I wasn't born or raised in this country. I came from Uganda, which is East Africa. But my service is not limited to where I was born. It is not limited to where I am right now. It is going all over the world because I chose to be of service. And I identified one way I could be of service to the world. And when I do this, I serve me as well. As I've already said, while I'm sharing what I'm sharing, it is reflected back to me. And at the end of the day, I'm going to ask myself, where do I stand in this? When I say it, how does it mold me as well? So while I'm sharing, I'm serving myself too, because I grow every single day. Transformation is not a one-time shot. It is a journey of repetition, a journey of redirection, a journey of rethinking, a journey of remodeling, a journey of re-strategizing. You can't do it in one day, be assured. That's why when Joanne was speaking, I think it was Joanne, talking about celebrating the small wins and the big wins and that. While you're making progress, one step at a time, celebrate that, because before you were at 0, now you are at 2. Who did that? That was you. So you deserve to celebrate yourself. If no one else is going to celebrate you, celebrate yourself. As a matter of fact, people might not care. Do you care about yourself? If you do, celebrate you. Do not wait for the world to celebrate you. What if they don't? So anyways, back to our 3 columns. I'll just give you an example of mine, and I'll leave this with you as a homework. Probably feel free to share with us what comes out for you. But I have done this exercise several times, and I choose to do it I think I should be asking myself these questions every day, but I can't for some reason. But I choose to reassess myself every other time, maybe 2-3 months. But every time I look into, I write a fresh page every other time. I make sure that I leave a lot of space, but before I write the other one, I make sure that I review the previous. And sometimes I've got to cross out some things and I'm like, oh, I did this. Oh, this is done. Oh, this is done. Aha. Or I would say, I think this is what I wrote, but this is not exactly what I meant. From the way I see things, I have to reshape, rephrase, reframe, redirect myself to this. One thing leading to the other. knowing that this is what I said I would do, but it is not. I think this is the direction for me to take. It gives you kind of a reflection and assessment. So anyways, how do I want to experience life? That's number one. As for me, I would like to travel lots. That's one experience in life that I want to get. See many people, see how this world was created, all those things, like what people eat, how people dress, their cultures and everything else. I want to travel. I want to see the beauty of this world. That's one experience I want to get. And number two, I want to experience longevity. I'm not leaving this world until I clock 100. And I already have a vision of how I would look like at 100. And I can't wait to see that, maybe in pictures and videos or. So you fill out what you really want to experience. I want to experience a family, children, husband, activities, and all those things that we do as a family, because family is at my core. Those are some of my values. I really like to see family together. So those are some of the experiences I want to get. And now we move to the next column. You can fill out anything and everything you feel like you want to experience in this world, and be truthful. Be authentic. How you feel, what you feel, and just pour that down. No one is going to judge you, because that is your life. You're living your own life.
True.
Be responsible for it. Design your life. I'm not living your life. If I said I wanted to sleep on the floor, who cares? If you want to sleep on a bed, go for it. If I said I wanted to stay in the wild, that's my choice. I don't know. How about you? Where do you want to stay? Like I said, I don't want to live in town areas. I want to live in the suburbs with a neighbor maybe who is like 2 miles away, a mile or 2 miles away. That's how much space I need. That's an experience that I want. But there are some people who say, I can't stay in the wild. I just want to be close to this neighbor, and I must, I want to be on the street, really. So that's what, and they know, and what they get from that. I can't be them, and they can't be me. So list your life experiences. Number two, how do you want to grow? Not growing in age, because we grow every single day. For as long as we are living, we are assured that we are growing, isn't it? For as long as we are living, for sure we are accumulating age. And don't ask me how old I am. Because I was born in the 19 whatever, You
look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. You too. So anyways,
thank you.
We grow in age every single day, but the growth I'm talking about is growth in service, growth in value. You remember the value we talked about for this mango juice? I want you to be valuable. How do you expect to grow? So when we talk about growth, this is where things like education kick in. I want to advance in my career, so I need to do this certificate or a diploma or a master's or however. People want to grow. I want to develop, for example, my speaking skills. Someone wants to be a speaker, so they want to develop their speaking skills. They are looking for that growth in there. I want, for example, I want to grow my social capital. That is one area where I'm seeking for growth. I'm giving you an example of mine. I don't know about you. So if I'm seeking growth in the social circles or in the social aspect, what do I do then? So those are the next steps and all those things. But at least I have identified that I'm lacking in that area, so I need to grow. You can list all those things in which you need to grow. And finally, this third column, every time I speak about it, I just feel like my heart is, I don't know, something just happens to me. I can't even explain.
That's a transformation right there.
How do I want to be of service? Talking about the world, but let's bring it closer. How do I want to be of service to my children? I'm a mother. I don't know about the listeners. Whoever your family members are, talk about your family. How do you want to be of service to your family? I mean, we are parents, so we do the parent thing. Can't we do more? Can't we do more? Or can't we do better? How do we want this relationship to look like? So that we are of great service to our own family. And this also takes us back to the areas of growth. When you check yourself and you're like, I'm lacking on this and that, that could also be a growth area. How do you want to be of service? I would like to create lasting impact on women in this world, women and girls most especially, that they can discover the power within them and they can act accordingly with confidence, with clarity, following their purpose. But I need them to realize the purpose for which they were created. I can serve in all other areas, but that is one area that I'm focusing on, because when you think about the potential that is hidden within us, and how much has been used or utilized and how much is buried down there, it's a lot. I think there's a lot we can do. I don't know. When we talk about how are you serving yourself? We talked about the children, but how are you serving yourself?
Exactly.
It begins with me. How much do I appreciate myself? How much grace do I give myself?
Mm-hmm.
How do I support myself? And in this area, when you're talking about you, sometimes people can't figure it out. They're like, me, like, how do I serve myself? But I'll give you this quick example. There's some mirror work here. There's a practice which, when done well, can help you to appreciate yourself. And it can also help you to discover yourself. I use this in self-discovery as well. And it can also help you to heal yourself. It can help you to transform yourself. And so you're talking to yourself about three things. You're talking to yourself about what you're proud of, you. You're talking to yourself about what you are forgiving yourself for. And you're talking to yourself about what you're committing yourself to. Think about it. When I say that I am proud of myself for choosing to serve the women in the area of transformation, does that make me feel proud, really? Yeah, it does. When I say to myself that I am proud of working so hard every single day to be a great mom for my children, how does that feel? If someone came and said, Karen, I'm so proud of you for working so hard to be the best mom for this child or these children. I don't know so much about your family, but I'll just use that example. How would you feel? Someone telling you. Can't you tell that to yourself?
Great.
Can't you tell that to yourself? What makes you think that other people have to tell you of what you have done? What if they didn't see it, or they didn't even recognize it, or they thought, oh, anyway, that's what she's supposed to do. She's the mom of those kids, and so she's supposed to provide, she's supposed to do it. But be proud that you did it. And then when it comes to forgiveness, sometimes we do not realize that people make mistakes. Just like anybody else would come and say, oh, Joan, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to speak to you like that the other day. I realized that you were hurt. I'm so sorry. How would you feel, Joanne? You would feel that this person cares about you. You would feel that this person loves you. You would feel that this person means something to you. Can't you do that to yourself? What happens when you do that to yourself? How about recommitting to yourself? Telling yourself, yeah, I'm committing, for example, to being my best cheerleader. I'm committing to following the daily practices of my businesses so that I can get better. I'm committing to taking care of my body by eating well, sleeping enough, and so that I can be strong, I can be healthy, vibrant. That brings energy. So when we are talking about service here and serving ourselves, that's one way in which we can serve ourselves. By being appreciative of who we are and what we have done, by forgiving ourselves for the mistakes we have made, even if people didn't realize them, or even if people thought, this is terrible and whatever. If we forgive ourselves, forgiveness helps the forgiver. Forgiveness helps the forgiver. So forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. And committing to yourself means that you're committing yourself to something better. You can't commit to a bad thing. So that means you already have your vision, you already have your goals and dreams, and you're committing yourself to doing that so that you can be the person you want to see every single day. So that column of service is very important. Serving yourself, serving your community, and serving the world. This is where business ideas come up. How do I want to be of service? Okay, I want to impact women in this way. So someone thinks, so what can I do for me to deliver this service to the people? Oh, now it checks into the areas of growth. You see, we are tailoring back. I need to do this, I need to do that. Okay. Things of that kind. So, transformation, I don't know what you expected today, but that is how I can sum it up. Transformation starts within you. It starts with self-discovery. How do I feel about myself? How do I feel about the world around me? Who do I want to be in this world? That is a huge question. If it's not answered properly, and if it's not answered timely, you can spend years without getting to where you want to go, because you can't just touch the end. But if you can touch and feel the end, it is very easy for you to come back and work on that, because you already have the energy. You already know how it feels when you get there. So transformation, again, begins when you decide of who you want to be. That's when it starts, because then it calls you to work. This is who I want to be, so I have to have all these things in order. There are 4. In summary, we have got to reframe the raw material, and the raw material is us, transforming our mindsets, how we see things and how we go about life, learning from our own experiences, And the other thing is to design for shelf stability. Remember, I said we are not taking the rotten raw materials to process a product. It's not going to come out the way we want it. So redesigning or designing the shelf stability means that you're selecting the best raw materials, you're selecting the habits that are helping you, you're changing your mindset, you're working on everything else that is helping you to push to the end goal. So you've got to look at all those daily, for example, daily habits. What are you doing that is keeping you anchored onto your goal? For example, daily affirmations. It could be journaling. Every time you're journaling your experiences and the valuable lessons you're getting from, all those things. Make sure that you're designing your life for stability, shelf stability. It's gonna stay, because this life of yours, or this life of ours, we are going to live with it until we until we pass. Whether it's tomorrow, whether it's 100 years from now, regardless, you're living your life until God calls you. So all the moments that you're living this life, design your life every single day for shelf stability, for value. And number 3, like I said, process for value. If you're processing for value and you're using cheap, bad, poor raw materials, are you expecting high-class buyers? If you're making this product that cannot even be packaged nicely, it doesn't have a label, it has a crooked bottle, who is going to buy it? So if you're looking at transformation is the higher value of yourself. We are not transforming something that is not there. It is there, but we are transforming ourselves for higher value, for more stability, so that we can live on with freedom. So that, remember the freedom I talked about? When this juice is processed and packaged nicely, it has at least 6 months of shelf life. It goes on to a year and plus and plus. But let's say at least 6 months. It has the freedom. They can transport it and take it, drive it. I don't know how many miles to take it to. And it can go to any store where it is accepted and people can find it. So it is exposed to so many people that are buying it. And so it is benefiting. So if you think of yourself as a person of service, you process yourself, you reframe yourself, first of all, to have the positive mindset. You design yourself for shelf stability, doing all that, what is necessary, all the information you need, education and all the social capital that you need and everything else that you need. And then you're processing for value, that you're making sure that everything comes out the way it is supposed to. Guess what? At the end of the processing line, you're going to be so proud of yourself. And whoever is around you is going to be so proud of you, because everyone will be yearning for you. Remember, we have this one mango, or the mangoes that are on one tree in one particular area, because that's where it grew and that's where they are harvested. If they are not processed, they are going to stay there. They might be eaten. They might be eaten by birds or humans. They might rot away. Whatever can happen to them. And they cannot even move to another place. But the moment the processing happens, the moment the value is added, they go all the many ways, because now they are elevated, they are accelerated. And that's what I'm looking for in all the women and the men listening. I would like us to process ourselves as valuable and stable human beings, and having service at our core. If we are of service, then we have value. So anyways, I think I've said it all, but allow me to conclude just with this one thing, one sentence. Your transformation isn't a future event. No, it's a daily decision, just like I said. And therefore, today, it starts with you. Your transformation is not a future event. Don't wait for it to happen next year or the other year. It starts today, and it starts with you. The moment you take the decision to switch, to change, to elevate yourself, to emerge from whatever situations you are, soaring high with your value and stability, that's when transformation begins. Because if you're looking for better, then you have the desire and the inspiration to start working on what is necessary for you to get you to where you want to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. I'm hoping that this helps one or two people today. Remember those 3 columns we talked about: what you want to experience in life, how you want to grow, and how you want to be of service to you, to the people around you, and to the world. Most importantly, remember yourself, because you are valuable and you deserve every good thing. So do not give out everything, forgetting yourself. Yes.
Wow. Wow. Served us well.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
This was a transformational moment.
I'm glad. I'm glad it landed that way to you as well.
You're excellent. You're amazing. Because you journey us through transformation. You started us off with a leash. You took us to the park with the dog. You help us to understand, are you holding your leash tightly with your dog, or are you letting it a little bit out? That's your dream. Or are you gonna let, when you get to the park, are you gonna let it just let it out because it's a safe space that you can just let it be and enjoy and have fun?
Mhm.
And so, and especially from that moment that you started the conversation and you started the dialogue with us, you went into our minds and we were thinking, okay, everybody can connect with a dog, everybody can connect what a leash is. And so you draw us in right into that moment from the get-go. And you took us through and helped us to understand, well, where are you? I mean, what are your dreams in the moment? Are you holding it too tight? Are you keeping it stuck? Are you not letting it out? Are you not, because you are impregnated with a dream. You are impregnated with so many different dreams. Depends on who we are. And are you not letting it out just to
Mhm.
see what is become, or if you're allowing fear or failure to hold you back from not stepping into that? And you journey us through right through until you conclude here. You took us to the store. You took us through the process of the mango. You're good with your analogies because you're letting us know you're taking us to farming. You're taking us to the farm, the mangoes in the tree, and everybody can picture a mango on wherever kind of mango it is. And if the mango stays there, right, and you don't take it through the process, nothing is going to become. Yeah, you may eat it, it's juicy or whatever, but there is much more to that mango. There is so much more to that mango because if you can take the same mango and put it to the level of process, right? Carrying it through all the level of process, the right label, and I like how you talk about the quality because quality is very important. If you're processing something, the quality is important because that will depend on your end product. What kind
Mhm.
of quality are you engaging in, which deals with your mindset, your skills, your leveling up, all those things? Those are your ingredients to help us as an individual become and live our best, our true essential self, our authentic self. Just live that out. And then when people can experience our best, right, so much can happen. Because then we can go globally,
Mm.
as you expressed with the juice, the shelf life, and how far it can go. And the more experienced people can experience and enjoy more of it. But sometimes I think what holds us back is the process. Because as you explained with the blender, right, it's a process. And sometimes the process can be hard because it's a challenge. But are you willing? Are you able? Do you have the capacity? Do you have the mindset
Mhm.
to endure? Because out of that is going to be something beautiful, something amazing, something enjoyable.
Mhm.
Because when we go back to the juice, I mean, you can have a good drink, and then you can tell others, try this. They may have a sip and say, mm, this is good. And then because it's so good, you go back and have a second. Hmm, let me try a little more. But I think that the processing part is that
Mm.
sometimes hold us back because it's not a quick fix.
Mm.
In order to move to that next level, in order to bring your dream alive, in order to whatever it is that you're working on, it's a process. But once you can go through that process because you're thinking about it. And what would it feel like? What would it feel like when I attain that goal, when I get that dream? What would it feel like? And so I think sometimes that's why you got to pause and you got to celebrate that win because you're on a journey. And as you pause and you celebrate that win, that is an incentive for you. It's an incentive for you because it gives you that incentive that, you know what, I made it this far. I can continue to go forward
Mm-hmm.
because my end goal, what I'm looking for, I know I have what it takes in me. I'm capable. I look myself in the mirror and I remind myself who I am. And so I can step out, I can step with that power. And when you talk about a life of service, because that we live by that, super important, the life of service. What are you giving? What are you giving for being in this universe? So, Irene, you have transformed this moment, right? This once someone who listened to us to you live and gonna catch us in the replay, you give them something to think. You give them a level of clarity. You give them a level to look at things through a different lens, new insights, new perspectives. Because at the end of the day, who do I want to be? What am I becoming? What decision am I making today that's going to better my tomorrow and help me to accomplish my goals, my dreams, my aspiration, whatever is it that I'm going to forward with? But what am I deciding? What decision am I making in this moment? So
Mm-hmm.
let's take a sip because we're going to make the choice. We're going to make that decision and we're going to move past failures, rejection, no's, setbacks,
Mm-hmm.
everything, because we're going after the dream in mind and know that
Yes.
we are worthy enough to achieve that. Karen, thank you, Irene.
You're welcome.
You
Thank you
know,
too for it. Yeah.
I'm just listening to both of you, right? And you know what comes to mind? We went through a process of transformation since we was in the womb,
Mm-hmm.
right?
You're going
Why
deep there,
are
sister.
you scared? Why are you scared to
Hmm.
transform when you come out from the womb?
Mm.
When our parent was carrying us in the womb, every day there was transformation.
True.
Every single minute of the day, there was transformation happening in that dark place, that womb. Transformation was taking place. So, why, when we come out from that place, we forget about transformation? Every single thing that we see around us went through a process of transformation.
Of
Yeah.
course.
You got your phone, right? Everybody got a cell phone. Every time they're upgrading,
Mm-hmm.
every time they're upgrading, and for the upgrading, it's going through a transformation because they're adding more stuff in and they're taking out what they don't need to
Mm.
make it better and attractive so
And they
we
charge you
can
more.
buy it.
And they charge you
Right?
more for that.
Yeah.
So it's
That's value. That's value
uh-huh.
right there.
So when you look around you, everything you see went through the process of transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Everything go through the process of transformation.
Right.
When they tell you, oh, let's put our recyclable bottles and they come and they collect it, right? It go through transformation.
Mm-hmm.
That bottle that you throw in the recycle, it's crushed and it go through a process and then it turned to something else. That's transformation.
Mm.
So every single thing in our life go through transformation, but we don't look at it that way. We don't look at life that way, right? And because we don't look at life that way, we are missing the point. We need to step back and we need to look at life and understand that we are required.
Mm.
We want change in our lives. We are required to go through that process of transformation. You understand? And the thing is that transformation, when the end product, as Irene talked about, the end product of transformation is beauty. It's beauty. And when you see that beauty, oh, it looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know the endurance of what you see?
Right.
Do you know what that went through
Mm-hmm.
before it acquired that beauty? Everything goes through transformation. It gotta go through that period before you get the end product.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot miss that transformational period because you're
No,
not gonna get the end product. You
there's
would
no
not
value in that.
have the end product. So you got to go through that transformation to get the end product that you're looking for. So you have to condition your mindset that if I am looking to write a book, to be a coach, what steps are you taking today
Mm-hmm.
to lead you to that what you want to be? You gotta look at yourself and you gotta ask yourself, am I taking the right steps? Am I surrounding myself with supportive people of my dreams?
Mm-hmm.
Am I taking the time to step back and look at life through a different lens? What am I doing today that I'm going to change my trajectory for tomorrow? So, if you are listening to this podcast now or on the replay, whatever is your heart desire, dream big.
Mm.
Don't be afraid to dream. Dream big. Because you know what? You are the person who is going to make that choice. And you're going to make that choice to do the transformation to make that dream big. You are limitless. Never limit yourself. You can achieve anything you want to achieve in this lifetime. But it all depends upon your mindset and how you
Mm.
see things. Every experience that you encounter in life is leading you to transformation. Nothing is bad. Nothing is absolutely bad. It's an experience that you're going through for growth and evolution. So today, I really just want to thank you so much for stepping into this space and filling it up with enriching words for the audience that they can understand that transformation is not an easy process.
Mm-hmm.
Transformation requires all of you. It requires all of you because it's a process you're going to be going through to see
Yes.
whatever you're looking to see. And Irene, you have nailed it. I like how you outline those columns. I hope everyone that listening now and on the replay would start filling up those columns daily of
Mm-hmm.
what they're looking for with this life. To be of service. Be of service. What do you really want to be? We gotta start to change our mindset and the way how we think about life.
Mm.
Life is amazing, but it depends on how you see it. If you're going to use somebody else's eyes to see life, you got to stop it. And you got to trust yourself and trust your belief and
Mm.
get rid of those doubt and fears, because those things is holding you back. Those energies are holding you back. Choose what is choosing you.
Hey, you're taking my line there.
Choose what is choosing you. You understand?
Yeah.
So today we just want to thank our audience for coming into this space, because we always value your time. And
Mm.
the thing is that whenever you come here, you enrich the space as well. So we thank you guys so much. Reach out to Irene, contact Irene,
Yeah.
because Irene gonna help you to transform your life. All our handles is in the footnotes. Go contact Irene and have a talk with Irene, because transformation is not easy, and many times you cannot do it on your own.
Right.
Mm.
You gotta grab yourself a coach who can walk you through the process of transformation. You know, for instance, look at a caterpillar. When a
Mm.
caterpillar going through the period of transformation, he look for leaf because he know the leaf can help him. You know, you gotta look for the thing that is gonna help you during
Mm.
your transformational period and choose wisely. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta choose wisely. Choose the circle you wanna be in. Choose the things them that you're listening to.
Mm-hmm.
That is super important, because many times people can't see the dream that you see for yourself. They're gonna say, "What's wrong with you? You can achieve that." That's not their dream. It's your dream. It's your dream. So believe in yourself. Believe in who you are. You got what it takes to be the person who you want to be. It's all
Mm.
within you. You came with it. You have the strength within you to be the person who you want to be. So we just want to thank each and every one of you for being in this space with us this evening. And don't forget to share us out. Don't forget to subscribe to Soul Light and Body, that you will never miss none of these episodes. Irene, thank you once again for coming into this space and enriching it with your wisdom.
Yeah.
Because you know what? We learned from you this evening as well.
Yeah. We, we,
Thank you.
we, we have learned so much from you.
Because when you talk about the mangoes, you talk about the dog with the leash,
Right, right, right.
those are practical things that people can understand
Of
about
course.
life. So
I,
make
I
sure.
just I just want to drop
Go ahead,
something
Joe.
and sorry to interject.
I stole your line.
Start thinking, just to the audience too as well. Start thinking about what does abundance mean for you? What does abundance mean for you? Step up from the way of scarcity and start thinking about abundance, an
Mm-hmm.
abundant life. Don't try to think how it's going to happen, but start to feel what it feels like to live a life of abundance. Start to feel what it feels like. Just write, if you got to make your notes in your journal and write out the things that what you want to enjoy, what you wanted to and attach the emotions to that.
Mm.
And when you can attach the emotion to that, as Irene and Karen spoke about, live the life of abundance. You want to step into abundance. Shift away from scarcity. Move away from the limited beliefs. Forgive what needs to be forgiven. Let go what needs to let go so that you can live and live fully and live with power and show yourself grace. Back to you, Karen.
Thank you so much, John. And the thing is that we all have a choice. We have a choice, and the choice is you. Choose you.
Mm-hmm.
Choose your dreams you believe in and make it happen. Board
Yes.
your dream. Board your dream. We love you guys.
We
And
love
thank
you.
you so
Yeah.
much for being a part of this. Take care and be great. And keep
Irene,
stepping
you're
in
amazing.
power.
Thank you so much.
Keep stepping in your power.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bye bye.
Bye.